Sheriff, hello, sir.
Brother man, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Sheriff. I know you're busy. We appreciate it. I guess I can start when Lucas say I can go. Are we ready, Lucas?
Hey, yep, you guys are good to go.
Okay, great. Sheriff, let me begin first off with this. I know you had said earlier that that decision by the O's puts your deputies at risk. How does it put your deputies at risk?
Well, they're uniformed deputies, and they should be armed wherever they go. It's our policy that when you're in a uniform that you are armed with bullets in the gun. And I'll go over that in a minute because we were told that we could wear our firearms, but they couldn't be loaded. So anytime, I mean, you don't have to go very far to see that we're targets in society. Look at what's going on out in LA and the attacks on law enforcement there. And it is just not safe for my people to be in a uniform and traverse anywhere without a firearm on their side should they need to take any sort of action to protect themselves and others. And it's just that policy is just makes no sense whatsoever.
Makes no sense. I want to dwell on that just a bit. I know what you mean, Sheriff, but what do you mean it doesn't make any sense, sir?
So, why would we put a firearm in our holster that does not have ammunition in it? I don't understand why the Orioles made the decision that they made when about a month ago we were in the same ballpark doing the same thing, presenting the flags of our country and our state and of my office at center field before the game during the national anthem. And during that time, we were allowed to be there with firearms on our sides in uniform, loaded. And for some reason, a little over a month later, we're not allowed to. And according to the Orioles, they made a policy change. And that policy change started out that we weren't allowed to have those firearms with us, regardless of whether we were in uniform or not. And then in clarification, the Orioles came back and said, you can have a firearm, but there can't be bullets in it. It can't be loaded.
And if you repeat yourself, that's fine because there was a little glitch on my side in the
Mhm.
beginning. No bullets in the gun. What sense does that make to you? Or let me not characterize it that way. What was your response when you were told you can have a gun but no bullets?
I think it was insulting to the men and women that work for me in law enforcement. I think the one question I had was, are police officers that are working down there, do they have bullets in their guns? And so I've found out that they do, but I don't quite understand the rationale behind telling us that we can have guns with no bullets in it. It's just a piece of metal when you do that. So I think by and large we were insulted by their decision.
And Sheriff DeWees, I'm going to revisit the first question again because there was a little glitch on my part. You called it a decision that puts your deputies at risk. How does it put your deputies at risk?
Well, first of all, our policy is that when you're in a uniform, you have a loaded firearm with you. And so, regardless of where we go, deputies, law enforcement, we're targets. The second we leave our houses in a uniform, and people expect us to be able to take action. You don't have to look very far. You can watch the news and see what's going on out in Los Angeles, and you've seen attacks on law enforcement here. So, I would never allow my deputies to participate in anything out of uniform in a uniform where they couldn't have their firearms with them. And I think the insulting thing is that the Orioles came back and said, you can have your guns, but they can't be loaded. That's a little insulting.
And what's so insulting about it, sir?
Why would we have a firearm that isn't loaded? What's the sense in having the gun to begin with? And that gun to protect us and to protect others should something happen. So I'm baffled by their decision, going back and forth in emails. I'm not sure that the ownership knows that this is a decision that was relayed to us, but we've declined to participate in presenting the colors tomorrow night, and we have a future date. And unless the Orioles can work with us to get a better understanding and make sure that we're equipped with what we are supposed to have, then we will decline to participate at the next date as well.
Wrapping up here, we reached out to them. They responded with a short statement saying basically, we're not going to discuss our safety protocols. We respectfully decline to discuss our safety protocols, which are in place, but we will say that our number one priority is the protection of our citizens. Your response to their response.
It's about the only thing in common that we have on this topic, that our number one priority is the protection of our citizens, but it's also the protection of us. So those firearms are to protect us and the people that we were sworn to protect. So we have that in common, but they just simply don't want us down there with firearms to accomplish that. So I understand, and we won't come.
What's your last question? What's your characterization of their decision? You touched on it earlier this morning. I think you called it not dumb, but what's your characterization of this decision?
I think that I don't quite think they know who's making the decisions with this particular topic. I don't know what changed from at the end of April.
Is it a dumb decision? Is it an idiotic decision? What word would you place on it?
I think it's an ignorant decision. It's out of touch with reality to what law enforcement does and the tools that we need in order to do our job. Regardless of whether we're there to present colors or not, we're in uniform. We're law enforcement officers, regardless of where we're at, and we require our deputies to have a firearm with them. So I think the decision is just blatantly ignorant.
Great. Anything else you want to add, sir?
No, sir. That's it. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you.
Sheriff, thank you again, sir. Take care.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.